Donald Trump has been publicly vilifying the federal judge who is overseeing one of the multiple lawsuits against his now defunct business venture, Trump University. In just the past week, Trump has accused Judge Gonzalo P. Curiel of being hostile, calling him a hater, and just casually mentioning his ethnicity, incorrectly identifying the judge as being from Mexico. Curiel was born and raised in Indiana. But last night, Trump went further, telling the Wall Street Journal that Judge Curiel's Mexican heritage presents an absolute conflict in the case. To be more specific, quote, "I'm building a wall. It's an inherent conflict of interest." The logical conclusion of that statement, that people of certain ethnicities and races are incapable of unbiased judgment because of their ethnicity or race, is on its face, of course, racist. But in a truly jarring interview airing this afternoon, Trump stood by his assertion, calling on the judge to recuse himself.
You can criticize every decision. What I'm saying is, if you invoke his race as a reason why he can't do his job...
I think that's why he's doing it.
But
I think that's why he's doing it.
If you are saying he can't do his job because of his race, is that not the definition of racism?
No, I don't think so at all.
No?
No, he's proud of his heritage. I respect him for that.
You're saying he can't do his job because of it?
Look, he's proud of his heritage, okay? I'm building a wall. I think I'm going to do very well with Hispanics, but we're building a wall. He's a Mexican. We're building a wall between here and Mexico.
Just to reiterate, as Jake Tapper did to his great credit repeatedly throughout that interview, Judge Curiel was born and raised in the U.S. Hispanics are not the only identity group that Trump has some real trouble talking about. Just watch this exchange earlier today at a rally in Redding, California.
We had a case where we had an African-American guy who was a fan of mine. Great fan, great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what look at my African-American over here. Look at him.
Trump's new comments about Judge Curiel come just over 24 hours since his soon-to-be general election opponent, Hillary Clinton, delivered a blistering, full-scale attack on Trump's temperament, his lack of qualifications, and his habit of attacking entire categories of people.
It also matters when he makes fun of people with disabilities, calls women pigs, proposes banning an entire religion from our country, or plays coy with white supremacists. America stands up to countries that treat women like animals or people of different races, religions, or ethnicities as less human. What happens to the moral example we set for the world and for our own children if our president engages in bigotry?
This also crucially comes just one day, in fact, just a matter of hours, since the lone remaining holdout among top Republicans, the most powerful Republican in the country, House Speaker Paul Ryan, finally climbed on board the Trump train. Trump is really and truly their guy now, leaving them no choice but to answer for his unanswerable statements. In a local radio interview today, Trump offered a fairly tepid condemnation of Trump's remarks to the Wall Street Journal.
Comment about the judge the other day just was out of left field from my mind. It's reasoning I don't relate to. I completely disagree with the thinking behind that. And so he clearly says and does things I don't agree with. And I've had to speak up on time to time when that has occurred, and I'll continue to do that if that's necessary. I hope it's not.
Similarly, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell displayed only mild disapproval, remarking that he's, quote, unfamiliar with this particular judge.
What I am willing to say is that Donald Trump is certainly a different kind of candidate.
Is he wrong in attacking the Mexican background some generations back of this very highly regarded judge who's won cases against the drug cartel?
I'm unfamiliar with this particular judge, but I did say the other day, and I'll say again today, I thought it was completely unfortunate, unnecessary for our nominee to attack the governor of New Mexico, Susana Martinez.
Congressman, I'm really just asking a very simple question about the federal judiciary, its role, and federal judges. The man who you're going to vote for president, the nominee from your party who you have endorsed, has said that this man is incapable of doing his job as a federal judge because of his ethnic heritage. Do you agree with that?
Well, first off, I don't really think that's what Mr. Trump said. But again, Chris, I know nothing of the merits of the lawsuit. I know it is
the merits of the lawsuit
Trump.
But the merits of the lawsuit aren't at issue. It is possible the judge has behaved terribly or the lawsuit is totally without merit. The question is whether it is whether it is true that he cannot render the judgment because of his ethnicity.
No, Chris, it should be litigated in the courtroom. Let's leave it at that. you and I don't know enough about this to really render a judgment, and I'm not going to.
But Congressman, I did not bring up this judge. I did not decide to start talking about Judge Curiel.
Nor did I. And I told you, I agree with Paul Ryan. This thing is out of left field. I don't think it's one of the things that really the Trump campaign needs to be talking about right now.
I am not raising the issue of this Mexican-American judge's ethnicity out of left field, as Paul Ryan referred to it. In fact, the man who runs your party, who is going to be your nominee, started raising it back in February when he referred to the man as, quote, Spanish. He has repeatedly attacked a member of the federal judiciary.
Chris, I have no participation in this lawsuit.
Congressman, does that trouble you? Does it trouble you? I'm asking you, does it trouble you?
There's a lot of things that have troubled me over the past year, but we are where we are. Donald Trump has won the votes of the majority of the Republicans, and he will be the nominee following the Cleveland Convention, and it's my intention to support him. Look, you know, I'm all in for Donald Trump.
Are you proud of the way he's conducted himself as the presumptive nominee?
Look, there's a lot of things I'm not proud of this campaign on both sides.
Are you proud of him? Are you proud of the way that he has conducted himself?
Where we are. Look,
it's a simple question.
I want someone who can win, and I believe Mr. Trump can do that.
But that's not an answer to the question. Are you proud of the way he's conducted himself as the nominee for your party?
Well, look, you know, again, there are lots of things that have troubled me over the last 12 months on both sides about how this presidential campaign has been conducted.
I'm going to take
but
that
I'm
as
not
a
running
no.
for president, Chris.
I'm going to take
and I'm
that as
not
a no.
ever going to run for president. These are people who know a lot more about it than I do. I'm just a simple country doctor trying to do the Lord's work in the United States House of Representatives, and that's what I'm doing.
Listen, this is a part of the bigger picture of Donald Trump, is that he is not mentally fit to serve as president. The things that come out of his mouth, this is like political Tourette's. Everything he thinks, he says. And that's not candor, that's lunacy. This is a guy who is letting out expressing this thing that turns on the id of a lot of his supporters right now by calling this guy a Mexican and saying today, look at my African American, like the guy's a pet. I mean, this is a guy who is unfit for duty. He is unfit to be president. It's obvious. It's evident. It is painful to watch someone like the congressman just now try to defend the indefensible. It is painful to watch Reince blink out the word torture in Morse code when he's standing next to the guy. These are people who have compromised themselves so profoundly, and they're going to have to own every crazy word, every lunatic tweet, every racist statement out of this guy's mouth for the next 5 months. They should be running for the hills, but they've been in such fear of Trump's minions and Trump's craziness, and they're afraid of being put on blast by Donald Trump, that they're behaving like the Stockholm syndrome is real, and these guys are all stuck with it. You know, the question of the judges, it reminds me, Trump puts this list out that he's never heard of any of these guys before. He got somebody to put a list together, Jeff Sessions or someone. But the fact of the matter is, if the behavior that he's exhibiting now, and if he makes this election all about him, we're not going to have a chance for any sort of possibility of a conservative justice, because it's going to be Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer running the confirmation process.
Which is why he is not a Republican and doesn't represent the Republican Party
He is the Republican nominee. I hate to tell you, you guys don't get a say in the matter when he's the nominee. Sarah Isco Flores, Rick Wilson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.